All right, guys. Well, we're here today. We're going to take a look at the KRX and discuss the whole situation with the drive shaft. People keep asking how to get that out of there and what you got to do, and do you really need to pull that front diff out? Len and I have taken a look at it pretty extensively and decided that yes, and you indeed have to pull that out of there, guys.
Diff has to come out.
Yep. So there's no carrier bearing like you would see in an X3 or some other models. So the drive shaft is one piece. So if you're going to want to do this, of course, the winch is going to make it harder for you because this is going to be your access point here. First thing you have to do is get that winch out of there, but then you're going to want to pull one tire off. Get your shock out of the way here. You're going to move that top and bottom. That's fairly easy. That way you can move this around. Then you have to choose how you want to get this lower A-arm disconnected. You can either remove the bolts here and just let this A-arm drop down, or you can go ahead and remove this castle nut here and tap that out and drop it out. One way or another, you need to remove the axle from one side of the machine. I
would actually say do both sides, because you know you're gonna have to jack that diff over to get the other side out. Yeah. You could probably do it, but it's your preference. I mean,
yeah, it's all depending on how deep you want to go. I mean, I think you can get it out with one side, but if you want to make it easier on yourself, go ahead and pull it out.
I mean, so we would do it, but I don't want to tear apart the machine for no reason.
Yeah, so it's brand new. We were this close to doing it, guys. We were going to yank it all out of there and show you the whole process of it, but we just really don't want to do it, and we plan on doing some A-arm work in the near future. So if we do end up removing this stuff, then we will go through a full drive shaft. But we're just going to kind of walk you through what you're going to have to do.
You never know, we may break it.
Yeah, yeah, that could happen as well very easily. So once you get one of the drive shafts off, you can then go ahead, or both, whatever you want, you can go ahead and remove the 4 bolts that hold the diff in to the frame. Make sure you get all your wiring and whatnots unplugged on top, and then it's relatively small. You could sneak your diff right out of the side. Now the yoke that comes off this, a universal joint that comes off of the front, is just on a slip, so you don't have to worry about it detaching anything up front here. Once you have all that stuff out of your way, which I know we kind of make it sound simple, it's just going to take some time, you're going to have to come to the back and get yourself in here. And as you can see, right on the back, or right on the front side of the engine here, you've got your rear universal joint. It's got 2 bolts, one here and one here. I think it's your choice of which one you want to go ahead and pull. I would just go ahead and take the front one off. It was up to me. That way you don't have to try to pull the yoke through the tunnel, which might not even be possible. We took a mirror and got a view all the way up to the tunnel, and there's like a protective sleeve, I think, if something happens, that way it doesn't come up through the tunnel when you're driving and take on a leg or something. So it might be best to leave the yoke back here. That way you can just slide the whole shaft right out the front through this point here. And then this is why it's necessary to have your winch out of the way. You know, you're basically just going to pull it straight all the way out from the machine. So
take the diff out, because there's probably enough room you can lift it up there. Don't do yourself the trouble. I mean, you could probably lift it up, just pull the dang thing out, be done with it. It's pretty small, light, it won't weigh that much.
Yep.
And you can actually probably leave the back bolted up and then pull it forward. And there's enough slop in here that it's probably going to pull that right out. So you'll pull the spline out.
Yep.
Just, yeah. I mean, you can take it loose here too. I'm thinking once you have this tire off, you know, take the cotter pin out, loosen this bolt up, and more likely you just tap that. Don't do anything extreme. Don't put a fork.
Don't mess up your threads.
Don't put a fork in here. That's...
No, you got a rubber booty in there, right? Yep.
Yeah. So more likely maybe take it off here, and then you can swing this down out of the way.
Like I said, you're going to have to pull the shock, of course, too.
I mean, honestly, if you're really inclined, you could probably take both upper and lower off, and the shock bolt, and the stabilizer link. This, and these, and take this whole thing out of here. That way you'll have plenty of room to get the diff out, and then you won't
could
have to
leave
get
this
anything.
side
You can leave the
attached.
whole side attached. So either way, you're either putting all the work into this side, or you're putting a little bit into both sides. So
Yep, very good point.
just this diff, you can probably get it out with one hand. It's pretty small.
Yeah, surprisingly.
It's pretty cool though. But
Yeah, one thing we noticed when we were doing our walking around here, guys, is normally on some of the other side-by-sides, the four-wheel drive actuator is in the rear of the vehicle in the rear transmission. But as you're looking, even though this is in two-wheel drive, it constantly spins that drive shaft to the front. So what actually actuates your four-wheel drive on and off is all controlled up in the front diff. So that's kind of nice, and then that's how they control your posi and all that stuff. A little bit more peeking around while we have it up on the lift. Len pulled one of these little skid plates here just to see what was underneath it, and we really thought there was nothing to find until we saw this, and this is where the front frame joins the main body. So unlike an X3, if you blast out the front of your car, you can actually just purchase this front frame and replace it instead of having to do the whole car. And then up underneath this one here, there's another frame joining spot here as well. So that's kind of neat. It's a little thing we found. Up inside of the cab, in this access point here, let me get a little light for you guys.
let's put it down a little bit.
Oh, I can see right in there.
Okay.
So in this little access point here, you've got some hose, just your hoses, and then down inside you can see where the drive shaft meets the differential. Like I said, there's no bolts there. It basically just slides off of the diff. So there's the main shaft there. Nothing crazy, one piece. Other than that, that is about all for this one. You know, like Len said, you know, we were going to take this all apart to show you guys the actual process, but I think more of the point of this was to actually show that you have to pull the diff. It is what everybody says online. It's not a joke. You're going to have to take some time and do it. Hopefully you're still under warranty if you have the issue with the drive shaft blowing, but if not, it's going to take you some time. Hopefully you got access to a lift. If not, you're going to have to get that front up safely, jack stand it up, and like I said, remove one side completely.
If you have one you need done,
Yeah, just get a hold of us.
Close, get a hold of us. We'll bring it over. We'll do it for you.
Yep, in the
just
Michigan
so we
area.
can do it, film it, and show everybody.
Yeah, for sure. You're always welcome to email me, as always, Ryan at M3 Off-Road, for any questions you guys have. Basically what brought this about was watching the Facebook channels and seeing what the common questions were out there, and trying to see what you guys wanted and what you had. So keep them coming. I'm going to try to keep an eye out, but if you guys have something you want to see done on the KRX, get a hold of us or post it on Facebook. I'm in just about every KRX forum there is, and we'll do it. So I think the next step is we're going to get these babies ready for tomorrow. We're going to go check out Holly Oaks and all the new stuff that's going on out there. We did a video in the past with the Defender and some of the X3s. They've done a lot of updates. Should be some cool stuff going on out there. So Len and I are going to take the day and just spend a couple hours out there and do some exploring with these babies. And so we'll take you guys with that. That'll be our next video. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the trail.